2025 is set to be a monumental year for human ambition, as some of the biggest, boldest, and most expensive megaprojects finally come to life. From record-breaking skyscrapers piercing the clouds to futuristic metros revolutionizing urban travel, these engineering marvels are about to reshape entire cities and even global economies. These projects aren't just about size. They represent cutting-edge innovation, sustainability, and breathtaking design. A select few will break world records, while others will transform entire industries and redefine urban living. With billions of dollars at stake and years of construction culminating in 2025, these megaprojects will leave a lasting impact on the world, whether we're ready for them or not. Number 20. The $500 billion dream. $500 billion. No finish line in sight. Neon City is rewriting the rulebook on megaprojects, and the world is watching closely. This isn't just a skyline or a cluster of towers. It's the line, a 105 long linear city with no roads, no cars, and zero carbon emissions. Oxagon is an industrial hub floating on the Red Sea. Trojena, a ski resort built in the middle of the desert. It all sounds like science fiction, but it's already underway in the deserts of northwestern Saudi Arabia. The Saudi government has committed over $500 billion to bring this futuristic vision to life. With the deadline set for 2030, construction is racing against time, and the technology to make it all work is still catching up. Supporters say Neon is the blueprint for the cities of tomorrow, clean, efficient, and hyperconnected. But critics call it an expensive fantasy built on hype, pushing limits without a clear return. One thing's certain, it's the most expensive construction project ever attempted. And with costs still climbing, NEOM may soon break into trillion-dollar territory. So is it a glimpse of the future or just the most extravagant experiment the world has ever seen? Only time will tell. Number 19. Europe's billion-dollar backbone. What happens when an entire continent decides to rebuild its infrastructure from the ground up? Europe's TEN-T project is that bold move, with a price tag pushing past $600 billion and a timeline that stretches all the way to 2050. This isn't just a few roads getting repaved. The plan covers high-speed rail, upgraded highways, revamped ports, and next-gen airports, all wired together into one epic transportation grid. The endgame: make travel and trade across Europe faster, smoother, and cleaner. Sounds great on paper, but the reality? Messy. Coordinating across nearly 30 countries, dealing with political speed bumps, environmental reviews, and a whole lot of red tape. Delays are stacking up and costs keep rising. But if they stick the landing, TEN-T could totally flip how Europe moves. Goods crossing borders in hours instead of days, less traffic, cleaner skies. It's a massive step toward a united, energy-efficient future. Still, with that kind of cash on the line, people are asking, will this be a game-changer or just another giant project buried under paperwork and promises? Number 18. California's high-speed headache. It was meant to transform travel in California, connecting San Francisco to Los Angeles at 220 miles per hour. But instead of sleek trains and faster commutes, the high-speed rail project has become one of the most controversial infrastructure efforts in U.S. history. Originally budgeted at around $33 billion, the project has ballooned past $100 billion, and there's still no clear end in sight. Land acquisition problems, environmental reviews, and political infighting have stalled progress again and again. Despite years of planning and spending, not a single mile of track is fully operational. The vision was ambitious: a clean, fast, modern rail system that would reduce traffic, lower emissions, and set a new standard for public transportation in the U.S. But execution has been rocky. The Central Valley portion is under construction, yet many key segments remain bogged down in red tape and legal disputes. Critics argue it's a bottomless pit of taxpayer money. Supporters insist it's a necessary investment in the future. Either way, patience is wearing thin, and California's credibility on the project is taking a hit. The question now isn't just when it'll be finished, but whether it'll ever live up to what was promised. Number 17. A city built from scratch. Building a full-scale city from the ground up isn't cheap. King Abdullah Economic City, known as KEC, is Saudi Arabia's $100 billion push to reshape its economic future. Sitting along the Red Sea coast, This mega development spans over 70 square miles. It's not just about skyscrapers or fancy homes. KEC is designed to be a self-contained powerhouse, mixing high-end residential areas, a major shipping port, industrial zones, financial hubs, and even entertainment spots. The goal: reduce the kingdom's dependence on oil by turning this city into a magnet for business, tourism, and tech. But pulling that off is no small feat. Construction has stretched for years. Progress has been uneven, and global economic shifts haven't helped the momentum. Some parts of the city are already in use. Residential communities, factories, and a major port are operational. But much of it remains unfinished, with timelines pushed back more than once. This isn't just a real estate project. It's a high-stakes bet on long-term transformation. And with billions already spent, and more likely coming, it raises the question: can KEC live up to its promise, or will it stay a half-finished symbol of ambition? Number 16. The desert's theme park giant. One of the boldest entertainment projects ever planned wasn't in Vegas or Orlando. It was Dubai. With an estimated cost north of $76 billion, this massive development was meant to outshine every theme park on the planet. The plan: create a mega district packed with theme parks, resorts, shopping centers, sports arenas, and even a full-scale replica of the Taj Mahal. Spread across twice the size of Disney World, Dubailand was designed to turn Dubai into the entertainment capital of the world. But things didn't go as expected. After its flashy launch in the early 2000s, the global financial crisis hit, and the project slammed into delays. Some attractions were built, others were scaled back. A lot never made it past the concept stage. Even now, parts of the original Dubailand plan are scattered across Dubai, absorbed into other developments, rebranded, or left behind. It started as a vision to redefine global tourism. But with billions spent and the original dream still incomplete, Dubailand has become a cautionary tale. When ambition meets unstable markets, even the biggest projects can lose momentum fast. Number 15. The airport that aims to rule. Dubai doesn't do small, and Al Maktoum International Airport is a prime example. This isn't just a runway upgrade. It's a $33 billion plan to build the largest airport on Earth. The goal: move over 250 million passengers annually, more than double what any airport currently handles. The blueprint includes 5 runways, multiple terminals, and an entire city wrapped around it. Think luxury hotels, massive shopping zones, logistics centers, and residential areas. It's not just an airport, it's an ecosystem. Construction began with big ambitions, but the path hasn't been smooth. Delays hit and global priorities shifted. The pandemic cooled international travel and raised questions about long-term demand. Still, Dubai hasn't dropped the ball. Work continues, even if it's not grabbing headlines like it once did. If it's finished as planned, Al Maktoum will redefine what an airport can be. It's meant to cement Dubai's status as a global aviation hub for decades to come. But there's no ignoring the risks. Costs are climbing, and the future of air travel is harder to predict than ever. So will this project soar to new heights, or get clipped by reality? That's the billion-dollar gamble Dubai is still betting on. Number 14. Britain's nuclear bill. Nuclear power doesn't come cheap, and Hinkley Point C proves it. Set on the Somerset coast, this nuclear project has already racked up over $31 billion in costs, and it's still unfinished. The blueprint was straightforward: 2 next-gen reactors supplying low-carbon power to millions. But once construction began, reality kicked in. Technical issues, rising material costs, and persistent delays turned the timeline into a moving target. Backers argue that Hinkley Point C is key to the UK's energy strategy. As older nuclear plants shut down and fossil fuels are phased out, they say this station will keep electricity flowing while cutting emissions. But with constant delays and ballooning costs, skepticism is growing. The plant was supposed to be operational years ago. Now it might not go live until well into the 2030s, and every year of delay adds more to the bill. At this point, it's one of Europe's priciest energy projects. Supporters call it a long-term solution. Critics see it as a financial black hole. Whether Hinkley Point C becomes a cornerstone of clean energy or a cautionary tale of runaway spending remains to be seen. Number 13. Oil beneath the ice. Digging for oil is already pricey. But when it's under a frozen sea, With brutal weather and shifting ice, that's next level. The Kashagan oil field in Kazakhstan has racked up costs over $50 billion, and it's been called one of the toughest energy projects ever attempted. Located in the northern Caspian Sea, this offshore oil field isn't your average drilling site. Engineers had to build artificial islands just to start working, then battle freezing temps, corrosive gas, and tech that kept breaking down. World's largest untapped oil reserves. Instead, it turned into a masterclass in delays and busted budgets. After multiple missed deadlines and failed launches, production finally kicked off years behind schedule. Even now, operations are under constant pressure from environmental concerns and technical issues. It was meant to be Kazakhstan's golden ticket to energy dominance. But with costs skyrocketing and more challenges ahead, some wonder if the Kashagan field was more of a warning than a win. Number 12. Moving a river. When water doesn't flow where you need it, most places build pipelines or dig wells. China? They reroute entire rivers. The South Water Transfer Project is one of the most ambitious engineering feats ever attempted, with a price tag over $48 billion and counting. The problem? Northern China, home to cities like Beijing, is running dry. The solution? Divert massive volumes of water from the Yangtze River in the south through a network of canals, tunnels, and pumping stations that stretch thousands of miles. It's like plumbing on a continental scale. Construction started in the early 2000s, and it's still ongoing. Multiple routes, some above ground, some underground, are already delivering billions of gallons of water. But it's been anything but smooth sailing. Relocations, environmental pushback, and massive maintenance costs continue to haunt the project. Supporters say it's a lifeline for China's future. Critics argue it's too expensive and unsustainable. Either way, this is water management on a level the world's never seen before. When you have to move mountains and rivers to keep cities alive, the stakes don't get much higher. Number 11. City of Steel and Smoke. In the middle of the desert, Saudi Arabia is building one of the largest industrial zones on Earth. Jubal 2 isn't just a factory upgrade. It's an $80+ billion expansion of an already massive industrial city. And it's designed to fuel the kingdom's push beyond oil. This isn't just about more pipes and plants. We're talking ports, highways, refineries, water systems, power grids, all built to support heavy industries like petrochemicals, energy, and manufacturing. It's a full-blown industrial ecosystem rising out of the sand. The project started rolling in the mid-2000s and development's been going in waves. With new infrastructure constantly being added, Jubal 2 is reshaping the eastern coast of Saudi Arabia into a global export hub. It's part of a bigger plan to diversify the economy, reduce oil dependence, and become a heavyweight in global trade. But building a city this size to run on heavy industry, it's a long game and it's not cheap. Jubal 2 might not be flashy like an AM, but it's one of the most powerful and expensive projects quietly transforming the region. Mystic topic. Get ready for today's mystic topic. You've probably heard that if China completes this crazy mega project, the world will change forever. But have you actually seen what they're building? This massive ring-shaped giant with tendrils of highways looks more like a portal than a building. Could it be the future of smart cities? Or is there a hidden purpose no one's talking about? Under trouble. It's one of the boldest ideas ever built underwater. A 31 rail tunnel linking the UK and France deep beneath the English Channel. Known as the Tunnel, this project burned through more than $22 billion, adjusted for inflation, and took decades of planning, delays, and drama to complete. When construction finally began in the late 80s, it was hailed as a modern marvel. 3 tunnels were bored through chalk and clay, 2 for trains, 1 for maintenance, using massive custom-built machines. The goal? High-speed rail connecting London and Paris in under 3 hours. But the money burned fast. Budget overruns, engineering setbacks, and political wrangling pushed the final cost way beyond what anyone expected. Still, by 1994 it was done and history was made. Today the tunnel is a key piece of European travel and trade. But its legacy isn't just about trains. It's a reminder that when countries team up to build something this massive, the results can shake up entire continents, even if the bill takes years to pay off. Number 9. Island in the Bay. Building an airport is one thing. Building it on an artificial island in the middle of Osaka Bay? That's next-level engineering. With a price tag soaring past $20 billion, Kansai International Airport was designed to handle Japan's growing air traffic and natural disasters all in one go. The entire structure rests on man-made land created in deep water in a region prone to typhoons and earthquakes. Sounds intense. It is. The airport opened in 1994 and was praised as a modern marvel. But the challenges kicked in fast. The ground started sinking way faster than engineers expected. Billions had to be poured into stabilizing the island, reinforcing the runways, and keeping the place from literally sliding into the sea. Even with all the setbacks, Kansai's still running. It's a major hub for international travel, and its iconic floating look still turns heads. But the price of making that vision real was steep, and it's still rising. It's one of the most expensive airport projects ever pulled off, and a bold reminder. When you fight nature, you better bring deep pockets. Number 8. Beijing Starfish Terminal. When China builds an airport, they don't go halfway. Beijing Daxing International Airport cost around $17 billion and is one of the biggest, boldest aviation hubs on the planet. Opened in 2019, the design alone made headlines. Its terminal looks like a massive starfish from above, stretching out in all directions. This airport wasn't built just for style. Daxing was designed to ease the overload at Beijing Capital Airport and prep the city for a huge surge in travelers. It's got space for 100 million passengers a year, with high-speed trains and subways linking straight into the terminal. It's more like a mini-city than just an airport. Construction wrapped in just 5 years, which is wild considering the scale. But behind that speed was a ton of planning and a giant stack of cash. Engineers had to build on soft ground, deal with tight deadlines, and integrate smart tech at every level. Now fully operational, Daxing stands as a symbol of China's rapid infrastructure growth. But with rising maintenance costs and global travel still unpredictable, some wonder if the scale was a bit too ambitious. Massive? Absolutely. Practical? That part's still up for debate.